Honestly, in a great game today, the Bucks played the Nets, and honestly, this was a very great game offensively. The final score is Bucks 120 to 119 Nets, and honestly, Giannis showed a lot of things. That he's one of the best players in the NBA. In my opinion, probably the best player right now. Him or LeBron, you could either toss him up to, or Kevin Durant. I would say probably Giannis is probably the best one right now, though. And honestly, this game was very entertaining from start to finish. Kevin Durant actually missed to send the game and to pretty much win the game, and then he also missed in overtime as well. But Giannis made some clutch free throws at the end. He made 2 that really sealed the game and put them up by 1 to win the game. Honestly, it was a great game. But then before that even, Kevin Durant had a chance to win the game but missed in overtime. That was honestly insane. They had a very good chance of winning the game, but just really fell short. Honestly, Giannis had a great game by all means. 44 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. And really showed that if it was a best-of-7 series, he probably would have won if they were still healthy as well. I think he definitely proved that today, that their team is just outright better. Kevin Durant still had a great game, 26 points and 23. Honestly, a great game from him. Bruce Brown had 23 points as well. Honestly, a great game from him offensively. I saw a lot of good shots from him. Finishing at the rim a lot as well. Andre Drummond really had some problems for Giannis at some points in the game offensively, but really Giannis can be stopped by anyone. I feel like no one can really guard him that well. Kyrie Irving had 25 points, a great team from him. Seth Curry with 16 points. He honestly had a great game as well, shooting the ball well. Claxton, 11. He honestly had a great couple of shots and dunks he had during the game, and definitely had some problems for the Nets at some points. This was honestly a great game from anyone, and honestly, something else happened that was very impressive. The Bucks all-time leading scorer. So Giannis actually passed Kareem. Kareem was 14,211, and then now Giannis is 14,214. Honestly, that's very impressive. He's probably going to pass it even more and set this record very high. And I wonder what's going to happen. How high is he going to set this record in general? I would say that maybe 20,000 in his final year. Like once he retires, I would say 20 or 25,000, somewhere on there. But comment down below, what do you think? Honestly, all around, this was a very good game to watch and very entertaining. A lot of people were talking about that flagrant on Chris Middleton when he grabbed Bruce Brown. Honestly, I thought it was it knocked the wind out of him. It was definitely, but he didn't really do it. He was an accidental play. That should have been a flagrant one in my opinion. And that's my main take on it. But what do you think? Honestly, that Bucks game was all around a great game offensively and defensively. Both teams really just put on a show and everyone was watching. That was probably the game of the night, and that's my opinion. DeMar DeRozan just dropped 50 points today as well. That was honestly a great performance from him. 17 of 26 from field goal. Honestly, in my opinion, he's kind of slept on in the MVP conversation. I would say at least he's a top 5 MVP candidate right now. And I definitely do agree with that. In a insane signing today, the Rams signed Bobby Wagner to a 5-year, $50 million deal. A lot of people are saying, are the Rams playing Madden with cap space turned off? Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the cap situation is very complicated. They must have some money somewhere. I feel like a lot of people will say that anytime they sign someone good. When they signed Odell, they said the same thing. How did they get the cap space for this and all this other stuff? And I think they probably have some stored up, or they find ways to get it in signing bonuses and things like that to get the player. That's only $10 million a year, so I think they could definitely swing that. What do you think in your opinion, though? Honestly, adding Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey, and Aaron Donald makes them one of the most unstoppable defenses. I think they're probably the best defense in the NFL right now. In my opinion, I think they're probably going to go back-to-back. A lot of people are saying, oh, watch them just lose to a 44-year-old and all this other stuff. I don't think the Rams, it's going to be very hard to beat them with that defense and offense. Pretty much every player coming back and still having a good year. And they added Allen Robinson as well. That's a good signing. Honestly, just a great signing from everyone. Von Miller, losing him was honestly insane. I feel like that was kind of a loss, but getting Bobby Wagner is definitely a good thing. But what's your opinion on this in general, and what do you think? Here's the mock draft for wide receivers. Garrett Wilson at number 10 to the Chiefs. Ohio State, honestly one of the best players in the NFL draft this year at the receiver position. Definitely going to be good for the Chiefs, and I think this is a very good pick, and I like that. Drake London, number 11, USC for Washington football team. I definitely see that happening, but I might think that's probably going to be their pick. At first, I may have thought Kenny Pickett, but that was before they got Carson Wentz. I feel like they really want to keep try to keep him as long as they can. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. They're drafting Drake London. I definitely agree. Jameson Williams, number 19, Alabama to the Eagles. He's definitely one of the best receivers as well. It's going to be a great pick for the Eagles. Him and Devontae Smith came back. They're from Alabama, the college, obviously, not the state, but... And you have Jalen Hurts as the quarterback as well. That's definitely a good tandem. All Alabama players. And then Chris Olave to the Packers. Honestly, that's a good pickup. I don't think he... At number 22, he's obviously not as good as Devontae Adams, but he's definitely still a good pickup for the Packers in general, and I think this is a very good pick for them. This is Travis Kelce versus Robert Gronkowski, both age 32. 165 games for Robert Gronkowski, 142 for Travis Kelce. Honestly surprising when Rob was actually injured. He had a back injury in 2011. It's surprising that Travis Kelce played more games, but it's honestly insane. 10,675 receiving yards for Rob. 10,297 for Travis Kelce. 107 receiving touchdowns for Gronk to 69 for Travis Kelce. 4-time first-team All-Pro for Gronk, and then 3 for Travis Kelce. 4 Super Bowl wins to 1. And honestly, in my opinion, I think Gronk's probably the greatest tight end of all time. I feel like the Super Bowls really puts him over the top. His stats when he was in his prime was probably better than... He's probably the best tight end of all time with those stats. I feel like he had probably one of the best years during those stretch when he was in his prime. I still feel like now he's still kind of at the tail end. I don't think he's still in his prime, but he's definitely still a capable player. And that was definitely a good signing for the Buccaneers. Terrell Owens is actually coming back. He's coming out of retirement. He's playing for this football league to play on the Zappers where the fans actually call the plays. And his quarterback is going to be Johnny Manziel. This is honestly insane and very crazy. It's honestly insane. Bruce Arians actually retired from coaching yesterday. And a lot of people were saying that Tom Brady forced him out. Honestly, I don't really see that happening. It's kind of weird that people keep saying that. I don't know why he would just want him to be out. Did he really have that much problem with it? I haven't heard anything about that, but what do you think? Do you think Tom Brady really wanted him gone? What do you think? Comment down below. So ranking the offensive line off-season moves. So number 1, Terron Armstead for the Miami Dolphins. Definitely a good signing. Number 2, Trent Brown for the Patriots. Or actually, number 2 was Orlando Brown for the Chiefs. They definitely need help with the offensive line. That's definitely a good signing. Number 3, Trent Brown, Patriots. Definitely a good signing as well. Number 4, Leo Collins for the Bengals. Definitely, they needed some help at the offensive line position. Definitely a good signing. Number 5, Billy Turner for the Broncos. They need some protection for Russell Wilson, and that's definitely a good signing as well. But what do you think about that? This is Mike Tannenbaum. This is what he had to say. I think Tom will be more comfortable in the environment with Tom Bowles. And I think this puts them right at the top of the NFC again. Honestly, that could be the case. Defensive play calling for Todd Bowles is very good. And he's probably one of the best. I think he's probably one of the best head coaches in the NFL. And I'm happy that Bruce Arians made him, or the Buccaneers made him the head coach instead of going out and trying to hire someone else. That was definitely a good move, and in my opinion, a good thing to do. But what's your opinion? I think he's definitely going to be a good coach, and I see them winning probably 14 games, somewhere around there. I think they're not going to lose that many games this season, and they're going to come back with vengeance. The Final Four is this Saturday. UNC versus Duke, Villanova versus Kansas. I think Duke's going to win that game. Villanova versus Kansas. I think Villanova's going to win that one. And then the teams have combined for 17 national titles. That's honestly insane. Most of them between Duke and North Carolina, but Kansas and Villanova are combined. Villanova has 2 and Kansas has 3. But what's your opinion on that? Kyle Shanahan on Debo. I'd recommend it on his extension, which that's definitely a good idea. They need to extend Debo. He's one of the best wide receivers, and that would be a very good option for Kyle Shanahan to extend him. Debo has more receiving yards. He has 1,405 than Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans. Debo has also had more rushing touchdowns than all these players. He has 8. He has more than Najee Harris at 7, Antonio Gibson at 7, Dalvin Cook at 6, Alvin Kamara at 4, and Aaron Jones at 4. Honestly, that's very impressive. And I don't know, Dalvin Cook he should have had more touchdowns than that. Technical wide receiver, he could be a wide receiver running back 1, but technical wide receiver is outplaying you somehow. I don't know. But what's your opinion? Najee Harris is definitely a good running back in this league. I think he's going to be very good in the years coming forward. Mitchell Trubisky was an okay signing, but what do you think? Honestly, I feel like Trey Lance might be the better option to put at quarterback. Maybe he might throw the ball to him more. I don't know. Will Debo become a permanent wide receiver, running back one. I don't know. What do you think? This is Pro Football Focus Fantasy. It says choose your duo, wide receiver duo: Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Honestly, out of all these people, I'd probably have to go with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I feel like equally they're probably as good as each other, and that'd be a good option. Or maybe Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. I feel like those are both definitely lethal. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs would definitely be a good option as well, just because how good the quarterback is. But I think I would probably have to go Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, just because I think they're both pretty equal on how good they are and are very good players. Honestly, Paul George did something amazing. Paul George has missed 43 games this season, and then 2 nights ago he actually scored 34 points with 6 assists and then 6 of 9 for a 3-point field goal. Honestly, a great game coming from him. Post-free agency NFL power rankings. So at number 1, they have the Los Angeles Rams. They had Bobby Wagner today, definitely a good signing, and they made a lot of good moves. Number 2, the Cincinnati Bengals. They have signed Lyle Collins and made a very good offensive line for themselves. Definitely a good move there. Number 3, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got Brady to unretire. They didn't get him unretired, but he unretired. Number 4, Buffalo Bills. With Josh Allen, you really can't count them out. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs. With Patrick Mahomes, you can't count them out. They added Juju Smith-Schuster. Lost Tyreek Hill, though, but I think they're probably going to get someone good in the draft. Number 6, the Green Bay Packers. I feel like they're definitely going to be hurt by what's happening with Devontae Adams, and I think that's really going to propel them even further down. Number 7, the San Francisco 49ers. I can definitely see them being one of the top teams. Hopefully Trey Lance is the starting quarterback for the 49ers. I feel like that needs to happen now. Number 8, the Los Angeles Chargers. Adding Khalil Mack was definitely good on the defensive side of the ball, and they just made a lot of good moves. And adding J.C. Jackson as well. Number 9, Denver Broncos. Got Russell Wilson. Instantly puts them in contenders. Honestly, I might put them ahead of the Packers at number 6, though. And at number 10, the Baltimore Ravens. With Lamar Jackson, I feel like this is going to be his best year. And I think they'll probably get someone good at the receiver position, too. Mark Andrews had a monster year last season. And hopefully the Ravens stay healthy. What's your opinion, though? And comment down below. Honestly, there's a lot of things happening in the sports world right now. A lot of big things. And what's your opinion on them? Comment down below. And what do you think about this? What do these NFL stats tell us about these quarterbacks in the draft? Malik Willis, best QBR outside the pocket is 86.6. Honestly, I feel like he's probably the best quarterback in this draft. Definitely, that seems like a good QBR for outside the pocket. Kenny Pickett, best QBR when pressured, 18.9. That's honestly concerning. That's very bad, but I still feel like he's probably one of the best quarterbacks. Falcons will probably take him, and I can definitely see that happening. Desmond Ridder, best QBR against the Blitz is 87.9. Definitely, that's a good sign to see, and that's very high. Matt Corral, best short pass, 10% or fewer, 2.8% off-target percentage. That's honestly very good as well. Bailey Zappi. So he has best deep ball, 20 yards or more, 53.7 completion percentage. Honestly, that's insane for that deep ball. And I wonder where he'll end up. Maybe somewhere as a backup. I don't really see someone put him in. And what's your opinion on that? So Jokic made a list, and this Joel Embiid on JJ Redick's top 3 players in the world. Where's Giannis? So that was what he was saying. And this was on his list. So Embiid, KD, and Jokic in his top 3. And he's asked where's Giannis. Honestly, I might have to put Giannis ahead of Jokic. I feel like Giannis is definitely the best player in the NBA right now. He's been playing the best and has really proved it to everyone. But what do you think? Comment down below and what's your opinion? Goodbye, and this is Jaden for Weekly Sports Report. Comment down below what you think.